So here recently, one of the things I've been doing is going through the various classes for the Alabama Crimson Tide and picking out which individuals I believe are in for a big year in the 2021 season. But today I want to do things a little bit differently, and in fact, I want to focus on two names that I believe are in for big campaigns this 2021 season, and we have got to break it down. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from y'all. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. And do you believe that the tight end position will have a larger usage under Bill O'Brien at the Alabama Crimson Tide this year? And let me know what you're thinking there. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, because I do constant college football content and you don't want to miss it. And if you enjoy that content, be sure to like, comment down below. Those interactions are massive to content creators such as myself. But with all of that being said, as many of you could probably guess by the question asked in the intro, the two individuals I want to talk about today are Cameron Latu and Jahleel Billingsley. Cameron Latu, standing 6'5", 250 pounds, actually coming to the Crimson Tide as a linebacker, but finding his way to that tight end room when the Crimson Tide needed some help in the tight end room. Now, he hasn't been able to showcase his ability until the A-Day game, and we got to see just what the staff had been clamoring about for quite some time. We've heard rumblings that this kid is very uniquely talented in his ability to be able to be a very athletic tight end. I think many people, when you hear a linebacker going to tight end, you might be thinking that he might not be the greatest pass catcher, but that was not at all the case. And we saw on A-Day, he was great at anything he was going to do, which is why I think he's in for a big season. But aside from Cameron Latu, the Crimson Tide have an absolute mismatch weapon that when you pair him with Latu, I think it's where things get really interesting, and that is Jahleel Billingsley, standing 6'4", 230 pounds. Now, Billingsley had a successful campaign in 2020. He went out there and had 18 receptions for 287 yards to an average of 15.9 yards per reception. But the interesting thing about the Alabama Crimson Tide in 2020 was how little the tight end was utilized, and that was something that I was really surprised at when I got to dive deep into the numbers, especially with the injury to Jalen Waddle, and especially when in the SEC you have a team that is just destroying defenses predicated off of their mismatched tight end. And I'm not saying Billingsley is Kyle Pitts, but Billingsley is one of the more athletic tight ends in college football that is one of the bigger mismatches at the position in college football. And for him not to be utilized when you see Florida just using Kyle Pitts to break defenses was a little bit surprising, especially when a weapon such as Jalen Waddle goes down. I understand Devontae Smith had an all-time campaign, and we wouldn't take that back for the world, but it was still a little bit interesting to me, especially when I looked at the differences of how Alabama utilized the tight end in 2020 compared to how Bill O'Brien utilized the tight end his last stop at college in Penn State in both 2012 and 2013. And the interesting thing at the University of Alabama, if I combine Forrestall and Billingsley's reception yards and average yards per reception all into one last season, the Crimson Tide tight ends had 41 receptions for 540 yards for an average of 13.97, which right there is something to be very proud of. The fact that your tight end is that much of a mismatch to average 13.97 should be music to the fans' ears, but it is interesting to note that Billingsley had 15.9 yards per reception last year. I mean, that right there shows you he was creating holes in defenses, and when he got the ball, it was for big gains. Something that I think the Crimson Tide, after losing so many pieces last year, will look to utilize this year, and especially when we look at 2013 for Penn State, where the tight ends there finished with 58 receptions for 741 yards to an average of 12.77 average yards per reception. In 2012, we can see 82 receptions for 1,090 yards for an average of 13.29 yards per reception. The reason I bring this up is because Bill O'Brien started off as a tight ends coach at Brown, and he's always worked with either quarterbacks, offense, or the wide receivers tight end position. Now, I've talked about before how Bill O'Brien has a unique offensive philosophy, one that I don't think we will see really largely rolled out to the Crimson Tide, because I don't know how effective it would be in the college game. It is so intrinsically difficult, and there's so much to learn. I think that the college game and the nature of so much movement among players, where you only have 3 years of eligibility, makes it incredibly difficult to completely roll out that New England system, because you just don't have guys long enough to be able to completely maximize the system. However, I do believe that there are some things that the Sark and Kiffin era offenses of the Saban and Alabama Crimson Tide teams will be able to translate into some things that Bill O'Brien wants to bring in. One of those things being option routes regarding the tight ends, because I think when you look at a guy such as Jahleel Billingsley, when he was already averaging 15.9 yards per reception, is going to be a massive mismatch, especially when he gets some option routes. And as I was researching Bill O'Brien, there were some interesting things, and I got two quotes that I thought were very intriguing. The first is, you have to play the game at a fast tempo, and that is one thing Bill O'Brien believes. He likes to try and catch defenses off balance. He likes to try and really show what a defense is doing to his quarterback, which that right there excites me, because one of the things Sark did that was so incredibly effective with Mac Jones and that Alabama offense is the pre-snap motion, and that's something I'm really hoping that the Alabama Crimson Tide carries over, because that's an easy way for your quarterback to understand what the protection is on defense, what the defense is doing. Start moving guys around. Are linebackers shifting? Are safeties moving with these receivers? Are they in man? Are they in zone? You can really start telling a lot about what the defense is doing in this pre-snap motion, and it gets the defense off balance. But when you mix that with the ability for a quarterback now to see exactly what the defense is wanting to do, and then having these option routes that Bill O'Brien has used in his career, you can create havoc for a defense, and especially using the tight end position, because typically you get the tight ends matched up in a favorable matchup, especially if you can get them on a linebacker. The second quote I really like about Bill O'Brien is, football is about communication and common sense. It's about making the defense make choices and the quarterback making his read based off those choices. If the defense is in man coverage and pressing over top, you run a zig and a slant and you make the defense make a choice. One of those routes is going to come open. It's all about the quarterback being able to get the ball out quickly. The reason why I think that the tight ends are going to be so important for the Crimson Tide this year is because Bill O'Brien has a history with the tight end position. Jahleel Billingsley is one of the biggest mismatches at the tight end position in college football, and we can see that when he averaged 15.9 yards per reception last year. He just wasn't utilized as much as I think he should have been, especially when you have a Jalen Waddle go down. But that's something I think Bill O'Brien will absolutely utilize, is Latu and Jahleel Billingsley. When you lose so much on offense, and that's 4 first-rounders at the wide receiver position in 2 years, Najee Harris a first-rounder at running back, and even though the Crimson Tide return a head-spinningly talented running back room with 3 former 5-star guys in Jace McClellan, Clamar Wheaton, and then Trey Sanders, and then outside of that you have Roydell Williams, who's incredibly talented, Brian Robinson Jr., who's incredibly talented. Najee was a jack of all trades. He didn't need to be subbed out the game. He could go from any formation, causing massive problems for the defense because it allowed for fluidity in the offense. Cameron Latu and Jahleel Billingsley offer a bit of that fluidity. They can be utilized in multiple different ways. Latu can be a physical guy at the point of attack. If he can get his blocking right by the time the season comes, he can be a massive help for the Crimson Tide in blocking formations, but he's also sneaky athletic. And Jahleel Billingsley has that fluidity too. He's a big-bodied receiver, essentially. I mean, he runs routes like a receiver. He has the quickness of a receiver. He has the hands of a receiver. And because of that, I think that the Crimson Tide, rolling out a new receiving core with a new quarterback and new running backs with a new offensive coordinator who has a history with the tight end position, with the wide receiver position, and with the quarterback position, he's going to be looking for easy matchups for Bryce Young. I think that the biggest reason this all works is you have 2 tight ends who are very athletic, and you have a quarterback who has always been lauded for a few things. 1, his accuracy. 2, his incredibly lightning quick release. And 3, his football IQ. All 3 things that are big when you're running the type of offense that the Alabama Crimson Tide looks to want to run this season. Because remember, Nick Saban has always said, we are going to run our offense. Every offensive coordinator that has come through has just added a little wrinkle. And I think that the tight end position being utilized even more is one that we can expect from Bill O'Brien. But hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking here, because Billingsley and Latu could be mismatches that are just too good not to utilize. And I have got to hear what you're thinking on this. That's it. See ya.